Come to lying on the roller with your spine and your head fully supported, and start just by gently rolling from side to side. Let your head drop in one direction and your hips in the other, gently massaging the muscles on both sides of the spine. Coming to a neutral position, reach your fingertips up to the sky so you're stretching the scapula and coming back and dropping back down. Stretching and coming back up. So take puppet arms, and we're going to do it within a rotation. So play with internally and externally rotating, one arm at a time. And then both arms together, finding as much movement in the shoulders feels comfortable, which I'm dropping down, opening in between the shoulders. Coming back to neutral, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, engage your deep muscles, stomach muscles, so that the lower back lengthens and draws down towards the roller. And as you inhale, come back to neutral position. Exhaling, feeling the lower spine lengthening and imprinting down towards the roller. Then I'm going to add the arms. So as you draw the stomach in, reach the arms back, opening the chest, opening the shoulders, circling all the way around. Getting a good opening in the front of the chest. Imprinting the back of your ribs into the roller, opening your chest. Should feel really nice, this opening in the front. Just going to take a few moments to stay there and allow gravity to open the chest. The breath to flow in and out of the body. So with that same deep connection to the center, one leg's going to float up and float the foot back down to the floor. And then the other leg, it's as if the stomach is initiating the movement of the leg. And floating the foot back to the floor. This time we're going to lengthen the leg away and bend it back. So using that long lever to challenge the stability even more. And if you feel stable enough, see if you can play with taking one arm up and back. And you might even be stable enough to take both hands off the floor. Or if it's too unstable, just keep one arm down to help to support you. And it might well be that one side feels much more stable than the other. Lengthening the tips of the toes away from the top of the head, and you can challenge that with either one arm lengthening towards the ear, or perhaps even two arms. Bringing your hands behind your head, supporting your head for chest lift, so softening the chest, reaching your fingertips forwards, grab on behind your thighs and to come up a little bit more, and coming back down. As you exhale, soften the chest, head floats up. Reach your fingertips forwards, hold on behind your thighs. Bend your elbows to come up just a little bit more. Hands behind your head, and release your head back down. Coming up just a little bit more, try and maintain that new height, hands behind your head, and lengthen your head back down towards the roller. Now we're going to bring the edge of the roller right to the base of the skull where the head and neck meet. It should feel really nice, like a really nice massage. And just play with this from side to side or any way that feels nice, getting into those places which often hold a lot of tension. From here, move back so that the same place, the edge of the roller, is in between your shoulder blades, and you might need to play a bit until you find that sweet spot that feels really comfortable. And from there you can come up again to a chest lift and opening all the way back down. Coming into our 100 variation, reaching the fingertips, pumping as you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just one more time for now. Support your head and relax back down. Let's do it again. To make it more challenging, lift one leg up and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And last time with the other leg, reaching your fingertips long and pumping. Inhale and exhale, drawing the navel in, lengthening all the way through the tips of your fingers, really pumping those arms to challenge the stability, and opening all the way back. You can play a little bit from side to side or just stay here. And we're going to come on lie on our backs. Place the feet on the roller, allow the knees to drop open. You can bring your hands to your lower stomach. And take a moment to feel the length of the spine. Bringing your knees parallel, feet on the roller, hip width apart. Inhale, and as you exhale again, draw your navel in to roll your tailbone just about an inch or so off the floor. And back down. So try to have as little weight on your feet as possible, so really finding the connection through the center. And again connecting, and this time we're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra up to in between the shoulder blades and rolling down one vertebra at a time back to a neutral position. So the further the hips go up, the more challenging it'll be for the back of the legs. This time staying up there and playing with bringing the heels towards and away from the pelvis, reaching the arms up and back, and again slowly rolling down, stretching the legs, lengthening to come up to roll up again, feeling vertebra after vertebra, reaching forwards and taking the navel back and rolling down, trying to articulate through the spine. Place the hands on the roller, take a stretch. And then bring the roller pretty much mid-calf. Place your hands back and massage the back of the calves. Pressing the hands down to lift the hips up into a back support. And then just playing with taking your legs maybe one way and the other to find out where the calves really need that massage. Bring the roller to the back of the thighs, press the hands down, and this time we're massaging up and down the hamstrings and just trying to feel where it feels best. So we can stay with these smallish movements or make it a little bit more challenging by increasing the range of motion. The hands in the center and the shoulders and the arms are getting a workout, and the legs are getting a massage. Come to sitting up tall on the roller. You take a spine stretch forwards, reach your fingertips forwards. And from the spine stretch, we're going to play with bending and stretching the knees. So this time, we're aiming to really get into the connection of the hamstrings to the sits bones. And rolling all the way back up to a long spine, finding the balance, opening the arms to the side. And taking the saw. So what's nice about the roller here that we can really get feedback about what's happening in our sits bones and try and grounding them both evenly down towards the earth. Into probably one of the sweetest of the massages through the glutes into the lower back on the left side. And here the left hand is getting some work stabilizing the scapula, and here on the right side. Again, really play with what feels good for your body. To move to lying on our backs, lifting the hips up so you can place the roller underneath the sacrum. And again, take a moment to really find the place that feels best. And allow the back to lengthen in this position. Bring the legs parallel, and we'll take one leg up for leg circles. So keeping the hips stable, and describing a circle with the toes towards the ceiling in one direction, and then reversing, seeing how still and stable the pelvis can be. And the same thing to the other leg, circling the leg in the hip socket, keeping the torso nice and still. Bringing both legs up, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, and taking it into a side to side. So you might need to use your hands on both sides of the roller to stop it from sliding away. And again, this should feel great on your lower back. From side to side. And switching legs, left ankle on right knee, dropping both knees to the left and to the right. one knee in towards the chest and stretching the other leg out long on the floor, so you get a stretch for the hip flexors. Breathing into that, and then stretching the leg up so you also get a stretch for the hamstrings. And changing sides, pulling the knee in to stretch the other leg out. Moment to breathe into that. And then adding the stretch on the hamstrings. Let's use all that length we created to scissor the legs, lengthening the legs away from each other and drawing the navel in towards the spine. Continue into a bicycle. One way. And reversing the bicycle. Reaching the legs long, point to open and then flex. Imagine a spring between the legs. So in our imagination we're creating the resistance to turn on the work in the inner thighs. And then stretching that out, rocking from side to side. Bring the legs back, hold on wherever you can behind your legs or perhaps your feet for a roll over preparation. Then bending the knees and slowly slide the roller away until your hips meet the floor. Holding onto the roller, and we're going to use it to help us rock up a few times into a rolling like a bull variation. Opening the legs into a stretch, and while we're here we're going to take this time to massage the muscles of the forearm. So again, internally and externally rotating and finding where it feels best on your body. Bringing the legs together, reach the roller up for a spine twist, lengthening first and then rotating, and pressing with the hands towards each other on the roller. Reaching the hands forwards, we're going to take a half roll back. Coming back to lengthen up even more through the top of the head and the roller. Pressing the hands in, as if you're compressing the roller, and then lengthening up. Staying halfway and reaching the arms up and back. And then we'll row from side to side, playing with taking the knees one direction and the other. Coming to a mermaid position, lifting, lengthening up and over, and lengthening all the way back up. So the left side is lifting, working. The right side is lengthening, stretching. Rotate the body, placing both hands on the roller. Reach the roller forwards, lengthen the back leg. And coming back up, rotating. Take it into a sort of rocking swan dive. Rotating just a little bit more, and let's take it to the other side. Lengthening up and creating length in both sides of the body. Rotating the shoulders towards the floor, reaching the top of the head and the tips of the fingers forward, stretching the tips of the toes of the top leg back, and opening and playing that more dynamic rhythm, falling and catching. Squeezing the rotation just a little bit more. Come to all fours with the hands on your roller. Just take a few cat and cow stretches, making sure that your shoulders are directly over your wrists. And then stretching legs out for leg pull front, so the instability of the roller makes this exercise even more challenging than usual. So let's take a moment to stretch out the shoulders, stretch out the spine. Deep breath. And coming to lying on the stomach. Forearms on the roller, drawing the shoulder blades down, lengthening through the spine and expanding, extending through the upper back. Allowing the shoulders to come up a little bit, elevating and then drawing them back down, opening the chest, opening the heart. We're going to come up just as much as feels good on the lower back, and then taking it into a swimming preparation. Opposite arm and leg reach away from each other and lift up. Bring the roller to the front of the thighs. We're going to come to a forearm plank and roll forwards and backwards. So this time it's the quadricep muscles that's getting a massage. Again, the center's working, the shoulders, the arms are strengthening. Come up to a swan dive preparation, opening the chest and then bending the elbows back. Again, you might need to play a little bit until you find that sweet spot for you. And then swan dive, rocking, lengthening the legs, pressing down. So as you're doing the swan dive, the front of your thighs keep getting that massage. Bring the roller to your ankles and we'll take a rest position. Breathing here for a moment, and then coming onto all fours, pressing hands into the floor, lift your knees off the floor, and sort of like a kneeling stretch on the reformer. This time the front of the shin gets a massage and also can play to one side and the other side. It can often be a bit tender in this area here. Bring the roller in between your shoulder blades, support the head in the hands, and open the chest back so you get that really nice extension, and then lengthen up to a chest lift and opening all the way back. And bringing both knees to one side, you might need to adjust a little bit forwards or backwards. So again, it feels right for your body. And then opening the chest and bringing the top elbow towards the bottom one, closing in and opening, looking up to the sky. Same thing to the other side, dropping the knees, finding the place that feels right on your body, opening the chest and closing top elbow towards the bottom one. Coming back to center, just rocking, massaging the roller in between the shoulder blades, maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower, playing with that, maybe from side to side. Bringing the roller like a pillow under the neck, allowing the head to drop from side to side. Keeping the head on one side to describe little circles, one way and then the other. Let the head drop to the other side, and again, little circles. And then bigger circles, allowing the muscles of the face to relax, to soften. Relax the legs, the arms, let the head drop into the floor. And notice how your body feels now after the work on the foam roller.